Boo. And we're going to have issues like this today. Good morning, everybody. If you're watching this as a rerun here, everybody, you can skip ahead about 25 minutes. Just getting on early, making sure everything's working, everything's rolling along here as a new day starts out here as we're getting the sunrise together. Still suffering from some sinus infection stuff I'm trying to get over here. All right. Photos. Close up here. Just get out of there. All righty. Here we got a couple more Coyote tournaments that were sent to me. Let's try to print these out. No printer selected. Is that right? Is that right? Let's reboot the computer or the printer here. Interesting. You gotta love technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it has no idea what's going on. No air printers found. That ain't right. There it is. There, we found it. Just takes a while. Yeah, I know I'm low on toner. Okay. Let's see. That is junk. Lone Tree Saddle Club. Here we go. Print that one. Added to the list of good stuff here going on here. Let's see. January 5th and 6th. Morning, Karen. Top of the morning to you. All right. What else did I get off of the old interweb here today? A horse I want to go look at. And why did I have that? Oh, I got to send that to him. Okay. I got Western Beef Summit coming up December 6th. Where's that? Montreal County, Stanley, North Dakota. Got the Lone Tree one. Got that one. Garrett Houghton. That one I don't think I have printed. Let's do that one. And the one thing I have from Bo Witness here. Where was that one at? Gracie Butte. Big buck contest. I think I got that one. There it is. District Advisor meeting. November 25. I better print that one out. Better get that. There. I think I'm all up to date now. Just waiting for Shelby Arman to text me back that it's she's ready to go here, but I bet you she's sleeping in. I really do. Oh, she texts back. She said, sounds good. Okay. She woke up. All right, folks. So, little sinus infection from over the last weekend. Baker was good. I won a Christensen Arms 338 Lapua. Thank you, Jake. And the rest of the Fallon County Wild Game Feed crew. Thing's nice. Thing is nice. So there you go. Breaking in a new bottle. This was given to me by a buddy of mine out of Wilmer, Minnesota. Tin cup. See how it is. He's not even a hunter, by the way. Not even the hunters drop anything off anymore. We'll see how that works out for you guys here in the next few years. Tin cup. Got to kill the taste of ivermectin. Yeah. All right, let's see what American whiskey here, bottled in Denver, Colorado. I don't smell marijuana on it. Morning, Waylon. Let's see what she tastes like. Kind of hard to tell with ivermectin. That was about a 50-50 thing there going on. Ugh. All right. Damn mountain lion, Waylon. Mountain lion in my calving pasture, my winter pasture, my lease place. Wintering cows. Can't do anything about it. I called the Game and Fish. They said they'd get back to me. 2 days. They haven't gotten back to me. You have to wonder, do they really worry about it or not? They don't worry about it. I guarantee it. Dave, good morning. Good to have you listening over the Minnesota side. What else is going on here? Man, did I look at a set of heifers and cows yesterday. Oof. Yeah, I know. Then you always get this, well, if they're affecting your cattle, if they're in your cattle and they're bothering your cattle, then you have the right to go ahead and do that, right? Or I should say privilege. You have the privilege to go in. You're still going to be under scrutiny for what, 8 years? You know, it's like that guy that shot that moose and was busting around his bulls, and same thing there, right? He went and took care of it. They were affecting his cattle, and he had to make a sizable donation to an organization that they seemed worthy of. He couldn't even pick his own. Morning, Todd. Or, excuse me, Mike Wagner. Magic Mike Wagner. Filling in for Todd the Bod once again. Magic Mike. I can't say that I was forced to watch it one night. I was forced to sit in the same couch as my lovely bride and start the movie, and I fell asleep, and she ended up like giving me like a head massage while I was like laying on her lap, and I fell asleep. She watched the movie. Enough said. That's honestly, I got through maybe the first 15 minutes of it. That's about it. Okay, so that's all I know about Magic Mike. But I know Mike Wagner can do the same dance, the whole jump up and hold one leg in the air thing going on. He's got that going on for himself. The hell am I supposed to be doing? Oh, that's right. I got some things recording over here. Fighting this cough. Hot. I don't even know what is it. I got honey and water and some other properties mixed in here. Thanks to Kayleen at the lumberyard in New England. She said, this is what you need for your cough. So, what's up, Tim? If grizzly bears keep migrating east, Bill Haas of North Dakota Game and Fish says Western North Dakota would be good habitat for them. No shit. Story is in the Friday issue of Cowboy State Daily, available free on the internet. Cowboy State Daily, really? Oh, don't tell me this, because I'll guarantee that the Game and Fish would like nothing more than to see grizzly bears. Cowboy State Daily. Would your dog stay in there? Gordon raises Wyoming sheep. Grocery workers headlines. Wyoming daily features. I'm glad you got me onto this here, Tim. Appreciate it. There it is. Grizzlies moving eastward to North Dakota. If grizzly bears keep pushing east, North Dakota will have grizzlies for the first time since the late 1800s. Wildlife officials say it's good habitat for them. They could care less about the ranchers, you know. They could care less about the ranchers. Where the hell is the link here? There it is. Mark Hines. I might have to get old Mark on here. Bill Haas told State. He says assistant chief in North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Morning, Tony. Well, we were around. We were around during the day. We had evening things going on, I guess. Well, Dixie was around. Nobody. I don't know. Yeah, she was kind of around. The last grizzly sighting in North Dakota is in the late 1800s. By the mid 1970s, there are only small pockets of left in the Yellowstone National Park here. I got to give Shelby a call here. Good article. Tim, appreciate that very much. Thank you. I really do. I really do. Morning, Eric.
Hey, Scott.
Shelby, how are you, sir? Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm used to talking to your dad all the time. Good grief.
I'm good. I am tired, but I'm good.
Tired? Come on now.
Oh my gosh, I
Like
left
what?
last night and I drove back to South Dakota. So.
Oh, you did. Oh, you're back down in is it Custer area?
Yep, like Hill City.
Hill City. Okay.
Outside of it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on here and doing a show with me. Having a little fun this morning. We're live on YouTube right now. Here is a pre-show for a few minutes. So.
Oh, sounds good. I'm making some apple cider this morning.
You're doing your vinegar apple cider. I am doing honey, boiling water and honey and some other properties because I have this. I got a sinus infection last week and doing just running ragged, trying to help with a whole bunch of wild game feeds and raise money for communities, you know.
Oh, yeah, that'll run you down. I heard honey's one of the greatest things you can do to heal your body.
That's what I heard, too. So
I burned myself on the wood stove like a couple weeks ago, and we didn't have any burn cream, so we placed like natural honey on it, and it healed up really nice.
So honey, I didn't know this, but watching, of course, TikTok of all things. And I say this because, you can use social media for good and bad. Okay. And if you, on your algorithms, I've been watching a lot of horse training videos and a whole bunch of other things on TikTok, and it sends me more of the same stuff. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always the junk on there too. Right. I get that. But they were saying, what is it? There's this guy walking around, $5, take it or double it if you want another question. And he said the only food that never goes bad, no matter how long it sits, is honey. It's it's the only thing in, I don't know, the edible food type or whatever that never ever goes bad. Now it may crystallize, but all you have to do is put it in put the jug in boiling water and it comes back to honey.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I looked it up a little bit more and did a little bit more information on it, and it was true. So that's kind of cool. So
Yeah. It was crazy.
yeah. Tony Malik
But
Terrace, soy sauce also, but that's been processed to get into a bottle. Soy sauce.
oh yeah.
So how far outside of Hill City do you live?
I would say about 15 minutes, but right now they're
Yeah,
doing some construction on the KOA campground bridge.
yeah.
So when I work in Hill City, I have to drive all the way around through Keystone, so it's about 25-minute drive for me now.
Okay. Stations 7 o'clock 700 on the nose here. 7 o'clock on mark. So this is nice because I'm talking to another person that understands what mountain time zone is.
yeah,
All right.
mountain is better in my opinion.
Honestly, I mean, South Dakota kept it right on the river. Like, figure it out, right? The North Dakota used to be that way when I was growing up. You always finish your conversation with, is that mountain or central time?
Right.
And now they're just forcing, where the little pocket over here, there's like 3 or 4 counties over here in the southwest corner of the state that are holding on, but, well. So, say, Shelby, I got to run and grab my iPad quick. So you're on your own on YouTube for a little bit. So whatever you want to say to them, I'll be back in
Okay.
like 30 seconds.
Sounds great. I'm gonna grab my apple cider.
All right. I don't know if that was 30 seconds or not. I try to be on time. Technology's great when you have it charged up.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
It's all right. I mean, I don't know if you're on speaker or not. I can it sounds like a little echoey, but not too bad.
Okay, yeah, I'm on speaker, but sometimes the service out here is a little. God, I've got like one bar, but
Yeah,
it should be okay.
I got you. I'm in the same way where I live. If you're on speaker and you hold it, you get better service sometimes. I got that.
Yeah, I know you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. But so like next weekend, don't tell any of my family because they probably don't watch YouTube by now anyway. Here's the thing. I'm so jacked. Like all of next week for like 5-6 days, instead of doing Thanksgiving, I'm going to bale graze some of my cattle. And Dixie and I are headed down to our place in Lead, and we're just going to spend the whole damn Thanksgiving down in Lead.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So if your mom and dad want to come down, there's a place for them to stay, and we can go out and have a little fun.
Yeah, they should. I think they were talking about maybe because I think I'm just staying here since I've been back and forth a few times already in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, they might try to escape, which they should.
Yeah.
And it's like tourism slowed down. So, I mean, Deadwood's always kind of busy, but even unless it's like a crazy holiday weekend or something like that, and I don't think it's crazy on Thanksgiving. So
no, and the Silverado actually does a Thanksgiving buffet. We found that out was about 5 years ago. And
yeah, that's nice.
I
know they do like I've had I don't know if you've ever had, but they do like crab legs, all you can eat crab legs like a buffet. I've done that one time. That was a while ago, probably 6 years ago. But
I'm not a big seafood guy, and so if somebody tells me at a restaurant we have fresh steak and then they say we have fresh crab, I have a hard time believing that they have fresh crab.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, oh, no, it's flown in daily. I'm like, no, it's not. There's no way that you can get on a crabbing boat, get that. And I was in Seward, Alaska, fishing out there. It takes at least 3 days for them to process it and get it through customs, and make sure it gets down and delivered. There's no way. Even if it's next day air, it's still 24 hours old, and there's no way next day it just doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've had fresh crab literally one time when we were in Charleston, South Carolina.
Right.
We caught crab, brought it back and boiled it, and it was amazing. So eating seafood for me at restaurants as well is kind of tough.
Now, if somebody says fresh walleye, okay, I can see
I
that.
can't do that one. That one I feel like I've had just, I don't know if
Really?
it's the way some people prepare it. I mean, it's probably not the fanciest restaurant I'm eating do that, but I usually stay away from the fish. I love it when Jason cooks the fish because I know there's not going to be any bones.
I'm with you 100%, young lady. The worst thing I ever had was a bone caught in my throat, and that was a long time ago. So I only do it if like my wife makes it, and we're like picky about it. Go through that. Riley
Could have
Schrieffer
ruined my meal.
Exactly. And I've so I've I've done a lot of fighting in my life and over the years, and so now I'm going down to spearfish to I got a lot of my horse head butted me and like fractured like a lot of my teeth. And enhanced fractures that were already there. And my current dentist retired, and I was having some pretty bad pain, so now I'm going down to spearfish and trying to get some work done.
Really? What office?
Dana.
Oh, yep.
So
I've heard of them.
yeah. And finding I have a lot of problems in my teeth, so I don't want bones in anything anymore, because if I accidentally chew on something, there's might be something breaking apart in my mouth.
Oh,
yeah. Well, stand by, young lady. We got 15 seconds here to stand by. Going quiet stations, 10 seconds to show. Good morning and welcome to the Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio Network. Oh, it's a Saturday edition, ladies and gentlemen, all across the Dakota Territory on 20-plus stations covering 6 states and 2 Canadian provinces. Good to have you along here today. A lot of events going on around the area. Just a reminder, my good friend Bo Wisness says that the district advisory meeting is coming up November 25th at the McKenzie County Sportsman's Club. And make sure to go in and attend this. These advisory meetings are very important, especially if you're ranchers and dealing with a lot of predator issues, including some bigger predator issues that we'll get into later on this hour. A lot of coyote hunts coming up too. We'll get to those as the day goes on. Welcome to the program. I'm not sure if I'm going to introduce this correctly or not. Shelby Arman, this is John Arman's daughter. I don't know if, are you still doing some filming for Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV or not, Shelby?
Yes. So
you are. Good.
Dad and I are still running. Even though I moved away, we still make time where I run back, and we send him shows and I hunt with my boyfriend. So we're still rolling.
Okay. All right. You moved to the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. You're outside of the Hill City area. And I want to be the first one to welcome you to how important it is to know what mountain time zone feels like. It feels good, doesn't it?
It feels great. Especially when I'm coming back from North Dakota and I get a gain an hour.
You do. You gain an hour headed down. Now, I'm guessing that I'm not sure which way you take. If you come over to Belfield and head south through 85 and down, or maybe you take 79 down. I'm not sure which route you take. But
I go down, through Flasher and hit like Isabel and Faith. So
okay, you go through and then you Faith, and then you duck over to Hoover and south to Newell.
Not all the way to Newell. I go south of Faith and then take a right, and then I go through like Union Center and White Owl, those little towns, and then I cut right south to New Underwood Road.
Okay. So here's the thing about driving this area in the western side of the state. Now, I know the eastern side very well of South Dakota. I do, because I lived over there for a while. And the nice thing about getting off of the main roads like Highway 85, but even Highway 85 has a lot of great stuff. You get to see from Bismarck, North Dakota to Hill City, South Dakota. You get to see a lot of different topography. You get to see a lot of different populations. Okay. So the deer population in my area is absolutely disgusting here for the last few years. What do you see going from Bismarck, you get through the Flasher area, and then you get down through McIntosh, and you head south of Lemon, you go down to Faith, or maybe you go over to Isabel down to Faith and all that way. What are you seeing for population, whether it's pronghorn antelope, whitetail, mule deer? What do you get to see from the windshield?
Well, actually, when I'm closer to a ranch, I actually don't see a lot of deer when I'm driving. It's not till about around like the Faith area, I do see probably like, two or an antelope, they're all grouped up right now.
Yeah.
So that's nice to see that the antelope population's kind of going a little bit there. But as far as deer, it's just a little rough this year. When I get to that new under road, I do see quite a bit more mule deer. They're all in big private ranches though. But yeah, the deer population, especially we kind of do a little bit around the Buffalo area, and it's just not the same as it used to be. So,
yeah.
But I do, honestly, the most deer I see is going through the park by Mount Rushmore, and it's the same few muley does every day.
Yeah.
Mill them in the ditch.
You get to see a lot of private and public. There's no doubt about it. And down in the South Dakota side, a lot of BLM land and a lot of the national forest. What exactly, how is the hunting? South Dakota's got a lot of different tags. They got East River, they got West River, and there's different opening dates. I think this is the opening day of East River deer season is today in South Dakota. So good luck to everybody out that way. But then they have Custer State Park tags, and they got Black Hills tags, and then they got this tag. What do you all enter in? What have you gotten for tags?
So this year's my first year as a resident. I actually didn't even draw a rifle tag. I put in for kind of up by the Lemon area, first and second draw, but I didn't draw. But I got a West, I think just a bow tag, because you can actually get a West River bow tag and an East River bow tag, or they even let you just buy it was kind of confusing. I had to ask the lady, but so I just got a bow tag. I didn't put in for a Hills tag. I didn't get a rifle tag, so I actually kind of struck out on the whole tag situation this year. But I did get some turkey tags this last spring. So yeah, I pretty much, if I wanted to go buy a bow tag for East River, but I'm not sure it's kind of winding down and just a little bit getting busy. But yeah so I filled my bow tag this year.
I was going to say, I know you had some luck because I have the photo here on YouTube of your whitetail that you got here, and it shows like you have a rifle there with you.
Yes, yeah, that was last weekend in North Dakota.
Oh, that was a North Dakota tag. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a nice whitetail. Wow.
Yeah, so I was able to get my dad, and if I explain this right, and people will probably ask questions because it's a hard tag to draw, but we have a buddy that's an outfitter, and he got a leftover tag for our unit. So it's an outfitter tag.
Okay.
So everything is legal. So I'm sure people were like, how in the heck?
Yeah. How does a non-resident get a white tag? Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outfitter tag.
Yeah, I was very blessed to get that and knock one down opening day.
So South Dakota hunting versus you've been hunting in North Dakota all your life. You say you're hunting with your boyfriend, and they ranch. What's come on now. I interviewed you when you had your very first deer. When you got your very first one, I interviewed you on the radio.
Yes.
That's how long I've been doing this, Shelby. I've been longer than your dad. I'm aging faster than your dad is. Okay. So what does he do in that South Dakota side of things?
So his family's originally from Lake Benton, Minnesota, small town. Yep. And about like 13, 14 years ago, they moved out here, but their dad has always been very passionate about hunting and taking the boys with ever since they were little. So their drive is just unlike anybody else's, truly. It's a miracle if I get to see them for more than 3 days in a row. But they just have such a huge drive and passion for hunting that right now they've started a YouTube channel. They're getting some sponsors, so the boys are kind of running with that during the kind of off season. They run with that Total Archery Challenge and work for him, and are looking to do a little bit more full time with him. So right now they're just chasing their dreams and passion and getting sponsors. So things are going well.
What's the name of the show on YouTube we can find out?
So they originally were known as Chasing the Wild, but they just rebranded a couple days ago to Brockhouse, their last name, just because that's where it all originated. It all started with their dad and growing up. So it's Brockhouse house.
Okay.
Now.
No, it's a good idea to let them know who I am here so they can come on and have a little fun on the radio with us too. Talk a little bit of hunting.
Love to do that.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. So Hill City area is where you call home now, and traveling all over. We're going to talk a little bit more about turkey hunting. There's some issues coming up, and I know, like your dad, you're not scared to take questions, comments, concerns, and we'll talk about different things that may be affecting and coming into our area. And especially when it comes to the western side of North and South Dakota, where a lot of landowners were pretty proud on this side, right? And I'm sure they're proud all across the state, but South Dakota had a couple things a while back that the landowners band together. We'll talk about that coming up. Shelby Arman's my guest. We'll have more coming up your way. Questions, comments, 888-932-5682.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Help the foundation provide hope and opportunity for the cattle industry for this generation and the next through scholarships, disaster relief, research, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. Call 223-2522 for tickets. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck.
Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. Coming up on Monday, November 20th, 400 acres of land for sale in Emmons County, 162 acres in Burleigh County, 320 acres in McLean County, and 154 acres in Stutzman County. On Tuesday, November 28th, it's the John Schwartz Estate Equipment Auction out of Darlington, Wisconsin. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to pifers.com today.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Help the foundation provide hope and opportunity for the cattle industry for this generation and the next through scholarships, disaster relief, research, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. Call 223-2522 for tickets. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck.
Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. Coming up on Monday, November 20th, 400 acres of land for sale in Emmons County, 162 acres in Burleigh County, 320 acres in McLean County, and 154 acres in Stutzman County. On Tuesday, November 28th, it's the John Schwartz Estate Equipment Auction out of Darlington, Wisconsin. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to pifers.com today.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues all across the Dakota Territory. Great stations. We are on KGFX, Capital City, South Dakota, Pierce, South Dakota. Thank you, guys. KOLY, the fishing mecca of Mobridge. KFYR, Bismarck, Mandan, the voice of the Northern Plains. Let's go up north to KCJB 910, where I cut my teeth in radio way back when, up in the northern Minot area, northern North Dakota, and then the voice of the West here, KLTC. Good to have you along here this morning all across the Dakota Territory. The second end of Garrett Houghton Memorial, I'm sure you'll correct me, January 13th. That coyote hunt's going on. Lone Tree Saddle Club is going to be December 8th and December 9th at the Galva Bar. The Dennis Lubke Memorial Coyote Hunt just announced. Rame, North Dakota, January 5th and 6th. If you want to enter that here. And also December 1st and 2nd, the first annual 24-hour hunt sponsored by the Surrey Fire Department and the Dakota Predator Hunters having their first annual Mike Anderson Memorial Coyote Hunt January 5th and 6th. We'll have more of these coyote tournaments coming up. You can find more on my daily program in Dakota Prairie Outdoors all across these great radio stations. Shelby Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV is joining me out of the South Dakota side, Hill City area. The beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. Shelby, how many mountain lions have you taken to date or helped on?
I have personally not taken one, but I've gone and tracked some. But my boyfriend killed one last year, and his brother killed one, and their buddy Dawson killed one. So we've taken 3 last year.
How exciting is that hunt?
It's unbelievable. I was on one of them. We were sitting a kill, and it was spooky.
Yeah,
because they're very stealthy, and it all happened so fast. It was quite unbelievable.
They're quiet, aren't they?
Oh yeah. You just see this orange, and for like a split second, and you just get goosebumps, and that adrenaline kicks in.
Now, South Dakota has quite a substantial more mountain lions they allow to be taken, and that starts up here at the end of December. Their mountain lion season starts end of December, and usually it's about 60 total. Or when there's the first 40 females. That's usually about when it's been done. So did you guys get males or females?
They were females, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe one of them was a male. I can't exactly remember. But, yeah, they were females.
Yeah. And what is it? What's the feeling? I mean, do you talk to some landowners and some people that have cattle? And there's a lot of those folks that are nestled in the Black Hills. What's their take on the mountain lions down in that area?
I just think in general, a lot of people, the deer population in the hills, from just talking to my boyfriend's family, has really gone downhill. And when I started my bow deer this year, I killed in the hills here, and I'm so used to a little bit bigger deer, seeing 130s, 140s, and we had these deer come in, and my boyfriend Connor's like, they're not going to get much bigger than this,
Really?
And it sounded like about 5 years ago that, they would see 140s and whatnot, but it's like kind of a 120 and under game. There's one of their buddies killed I think a 140 last year. It was a really good hills buck. But yeah, the population, I've talked to a game warden down here too, kind of about cats and the population, and everybody says, we see a lot of deer along the roads and whatnot, but they're all like down because I don't know if the vegetation is bad or what, but they're all along the roads. The deer you're seeing is like the deer you have. So,
and they're in town. I mean, we were just talking about we have a little place in Lead. I mean, the whole town is crawling with mule deer.
Yeah,
But
that's how Keystone is.
that's where they stay there. It's not like they like, all right, we're just going to come in for a little bit of green grass and head to the hills. It seems like
Mm-mm.
they're smart. They're like, you know what? Mountain lions don't usually. Well, I take that back. Was it 4 or 5 years ago during New Year's? We were walking up Main Street, Deadwood, and there was a mountain lion walking up Main Street with everybody. So
That's crazy.
yeah, so it does happen sometimes, but so a deer size and mountain lion population, you seeing a little bit of difference in that. So here on the western side of North Dakota, the mountain lion, I can say the tags or the what's allowed to be taken, it has dropped substantially over the last 10, 15 years. And they say that's because the population is going down because they're seeing younger cats, not as many older cats. But just in my winter pasture here this last week, one on my lease place here going right through the middle of the cows. Can't do anything about it. It's a pretty good sized cat. I can't tell if it's male or female or anything, but and we have a population around this area. There's no doubt the Badlands of North Dakota, and this is what it is, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. This is the habitat that they're looking for: rough country, trees, water. You can't beat that, right? And same thing as the Black Hills. Now, a lot of folks are saying, are they coming from the Black Hills? Are they coming from Montana? Which way are they coming from? I think over the years, Shelby, and I don't know what your take is on it, what you're hearing throughout the areas. I think we have our own resident population. I don't think there's a whole lot of cross section anymore. I think this is pretty much they're staying where they are.
Yeah, I think the cats are staying here, and it's just like we even had across the driveway, Connor's dad Brad tracked one, and just in the driveway, and they've got dogs, but we got like a coyote issue here, and because we'll hear the coyotes just light up at night,
Yeah.
and the mountain lions in the winter, when you get fresh snow, we go out, and look for tracks and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's definitely beginning to be a problem, and they never meet the quota. I don't think I know the broadcasters were talking about it, and the quota for mountain lions, people killing them has like not been met in a long time.
Do you think that's because people are less people hunting them or what?
I just don't think, it's hard. Those cats, like some of the tracks we followed, they take you through some nasty stuff. I mean, it's like they have no rhyme or reason. They're just going and they just take you through the thickest, deepest snow. And it's tough. And especially for someone who's 5'5", like my legs, I start bottoming out in some areas.
So do you guys run them with dogs or you just track them by foot?
Track them by foot. So in the tag, you have to draw to run dogs in Custer, I believe, the Custer State Park. You have to draw that tag where you can use dogs, but otherwise it's just all on foot yourself. Use the call or. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a lot of work because they can cover a lot of ground in a hurry. There's no doubt.
Yeah, half the time it's a dead end.
And the same thing. I have the same issue down in my neck of the woods. Last winter, this past spring, and we had that last storm, mountain lion track, big mountain lion track, and by the time I could call somebody to come down and bring dogs, that's a 3-hour trip for anybody that I know with good hunting dogs that are trained for this. And then, of course, you got to contact like 6 or 7 of your neighbors to make sure it's okay to cross their property too.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, nobody wants to come down to my place. They're like, by the time we get down there, the track's going to be cold. And, I understand that. So it's a kind of a rare thing to be able to get one without having your dogs locally. And now, granted, I have a boxer, and this dog loves female coyotes, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
He is all into that, but that does not help me with the mountain lion side of things at all.
No. Yeah. When we tracked a cat last year, we actually came up upon 2 like old kills. So they're definitely taking down the deer.
So that's what you guys hunted over, is just find something that they took down and wait over a dead pile. Huh.
Yeah, that's your best chance. If you can find a fresh kill, that's going to be your best chance killing a cat. Then you just sit and wait. They even, I know they set up a trail camera across the road, and they had a cat on camera, super close to the house, like a half a mile, not even.
Yeah. Well, they're Doc Tony says, I recently drove from Bismarck to Bridgeport, Nebraska through the same country that you guys are talking about, and they saw 0 deer and 0 antelope on that trip. So maybe this is a little bit more widespread than we thought here, Shelby, instead of just locally wise. So I know there's some pockets. There are some pockets that people are having good deer numbers, but overall, I think the numbers are down from that EHD a couple years ago.
Yeah, that really hit hard. Even at our ranch, I know that our doe population is way down.
Really? Okay.
So we used to have a ton of does, but now, like, few here and there. But
yeah, it's pretty sad in this country. We're going to come back in the second half of the hour. Shelby Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV is my guest. And question, comments, you can even text them to me, 701-425-6651. You can call in 888-932-5682. All of this and more coming up in the second half of the program on Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, right after these messages.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Help the foundation provide hope and opportunity for the cattle industry for this generation and the next through scholarships, disaster relief, research, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. Call 223-2522 for tickets. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck.
Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. Coming up on Monday, November 20th, 400 acres of land for sale in Emmons County, 162 acres in Burleigh County, 320 acres in McLean County, and 154 acres in Stutzman County. On Tuesday, November 28th, it's the John Schwartz Estate Equipment Auction out of Darlington, Wisconsin. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to pifers.com today.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
The North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will host a night of fun-filled Western elegance at the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck. Come enjoy prime rib, auctions, entertainment, and dancing to live music. Help the foundation provide hope and opportunity for the cattle industry for this generation and the next through scholarships, disaster relief, research, and more. It's a good time and for a good cause. Call 223-2522 for tickets. That's the Stockman's Ball, December 9th in Bismarck.
Piper's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. Coming up on Monday, November 20th, 400 acres of land for sale in Emmons County, 162 acres in Burleigh County, 320 acres in McLean County, and 154 acres in Stutzman County. On Tuesday, November 28th, it's the John Schwartz Estate Equipment Auction out of Darlington, Wisconsin. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to Pifers.com today.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
But don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors, nearly 2 decades strong across the Dakota Territory and around the region. Good to have you along here. I'm Scott Bachmeyer, and good to be with you. Shelby Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV, now a resident of South Dakota and the Black Hills side of things here. Shelby, you know, I got a story for you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Because I do this. So I do this to your dad all the time, and I bring up things that they may be a little controversial. So I'm gonna test you out and see if you are like your dad or not. Okay. So the grizzly bears, there's a chance that they're moving eastward out of the Montana side and starting to find homes in North Dakota, including the Badlands of North Dakota and the hills of South Dakota. And there was an article at Cowboy State Daily here out of Wyoming. If you want to check out their website, they got a lot of great information. There's no doubt they do a lot of great stuff down there, articles. But it's Cowboy State Daily is the name of the website. And according to Bill Haas out of the Game and Fish of North Dakota, he says that the grizzlies would have a great habitat if they were to move into the Badlands of North Dakota, and of course into the South Dakota side. Is this something that we need to see? And the reason I say this is because you know that there are organizations like the World Wildlife Fund, HSUS, and many others that are willing to spread these grizzly bears out and promote different country, and they're going to give money to organizations to say, hey, if you start this, look at here, you could have a grizzly bear hunt, right? Which is money for you coming in. But look what it did to Montana. Look what it did to their elk populations. Look what it did to their deer populations. It just decimated a lot of it. Is this something that we need to see in the western side of the Dakota Territory?
The grizzly bears, I mean, just from over the years, like hearing things, they are, super destructive, and then even I had some friends that were hunting elk in Montana just with the general tag being a resident, and it's tough. It wasn't like what it used to be. And I can tell you for a fact right now that the black bear population has already hit the hills. We've had multiple, I hear it from my patients. I hear it from, other people, and Connor's dad got a video sent to him and spearfish, and like a bear attacked someone's chicken coop and killed some livestock. So they're here, they're moving in. Black bears are in the Badlands of North Dakota, Shelby. Did you know that? I did not. A lot of people don't, but I get the same. I got trail cam pictures from people sending me stuff. I also have video proof of a neighbor flying some of my what my winter pasture is over here along the Little Missouri River. There's black bear here too. Yeah. It's crazy. I know I'm so just the bear country here in the hills is where all the big bears are at, but yeah, I mean, they're going to start blaming Bear Country USA for not allowing them to stay in their kennels, right? I mean, come on. Right? Oh, those are some monsters. I know, it's awesome. If you've never been through Bear Country USA down by the Sturgis Deadwood area, you need to do that. Yeah, that's a great place. But yeah, it's very interesting. I think it would be, just seeing them would be cool. But as far as like helping our deer population, and we've already got a mountain lion problem, I don't know if it's in the best interest
It is not.
of the state.
So you know what happens when you give an inch, they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the grizzlies were on the endangered species list. They have now been moved off of that to the there's like a step before they're not on the list. And people are fighting that. There's no doubt about that. There's some tree huggers out there that just want to see grizzlies, and they could care less about any other animal. They just worry about grizzlies.
Yeah, because it's the fur.
Yeah,
you kill anything with little fluffy fur. It's not a
exactly.
teddy bear.
and they have plenty of money to do this with. Yeah, so that's what worries me is you get these people, they take feelings over actual facts. And
yes, I feel like a lot of people are not
and feelings
informed.
seem to win for some reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a lady in hunting, I mean, don't you? I mean, you're a dental hygienist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your main job is working as a dental hygienist. Do you get any backlash from any of your coworkers or other people going, really? You're shooting animals?
Out here it's been pretty good. It's usually on social media. People will make comments. And I just ignore them because why? Fight with the skunk.
Yeah.
Just get sprayed anyway. But yeah, I have people that are like, oh, poor deer. And I'm just like, sometimes you just got to bite your tongue, and but a lot of people are very uneducated about their hunting and whatnot. And it's like, I think a lot of people, especially that are not, like in the Midwest or don't hunt or anything like that, don't even know where their meat comes from. Or, like if I've been to a restaurant, and it's like they have like a duck delicacy, and it's like, I don't even think people registers.
Yeah. Well, I got a text message from a buddy out in Minnesota. He says in Minnesota, timber wolves have just taken off and has hurt the moose population bad. They've tried to do something about it, but the activists put an end to the wolf hunting in Minnesota. So, darn well that's going to be part of what's happening, right? If we have good elk population and people complain about elk, what's the first thing people want to do? Introduce wolves, right? None of this helps ranching. None of this helps our livelihood here that continue to keep up the grasslands, whether it's North or South Dakota. So we need to find a different opportunity or option than that. How about giving us a tag once in a while? How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just actually on our ranch, we've started to have elk move in. My Connor and I were actually deer hunting, and we had like 3 bull elk walk past us.
Yeah.
It's just so you're wondering, if there's just so much pressure, from the grizzlies and the wolves, that they're just starting to move, more east towards us. Because, all my life hunting down there, Dad said even when he was younger, they had like a few here and there, but now we're starting to see them a little bit more, and the neighbors are too. So it's great to see. But, it also makes you wonder and be concerned, like, why are they? Moving this way.
Well, and they're great to see until you have to start doing the fencing and find out how much. So,
oh yeah, they knock over Dad's trail cameras, and they're really destructive.
They are.
You can tell when they've hit the food plot.
Yeah. So I mean, let's go back to the 1800s. Okay, the Dakota Territory, 1800s. There were wolves, there were bison, right? There may have been a black bear, maybe even a grizzly bear here or there, right? The last grizzly bear sighting in North Dakota was in the late 1800s. All right. So yes, have they been here? Were they here? Absolutely. But there was a reason that they got pushed out into certain areas, and they found out that they could do better raising their cattle when there weren't these big alpha predators around. Now, do people really want things to go back to that? I mean, are the city folk that big into the city side of things that they want to see livelihoods and family generational ranches and farms taken away just to put things back into what they call natural habitat? I'm sure there's some of them, right?
I'm sure they just don't understand. They're just looking one way. They're not seeing the big picture of it all.
Yeah.
they're probably thinking, oh, that'd be really cool, to see a grizzly bear or whatnot, but they're not thinking of like all the consequences of having them that are going to be and how detrimental it'll be to ranchers. And
But they don't have to deal with the consequences.
yeah.
Right?
So yeah, why is it their problem?
Exactly. So you are a lot like your dad.
I've heard that once or twice.
That's good. That's good. So what else do you got going on for hunting wise here for the rest of the year? Are you gonna get into the mountain lion side here at the end of December? You're a resident now. You should be able to go after
Yep.
one, right?
Yeah. So I told the boys, step aside. It's my turn this year. So, I have a full-time job, so it's a little bit harder because fresh snow is your best chance. But yeah, definitely that would be super awesome if I could, at least get close or see one, tracking it. I've got my bow tag left in North Dakota, so Connor and I will probably go up when we start. It's just been a little too warm. Dad and I sat last night. Movement was a little slow, but it was like 50 degrees too.
Yeah.
So I'll go back like late season and try to get it done in North Dakota. And then, if I get a wild hair, maybe East River of South Dakota for a bow tag. But other than that, it's kind of winding down. Late season, we usually do a little bit more pheasant hunting, maybe do a goose hunt or so. But yeah, so far this year, it's been really great for me. I've been kind of looked like I was in retirement there for a hot minute, but I'm back.
All right. So what's the difference between hunting? Oh, I just got a message here, 605 number. Look at here. Right in, I got a message. I'll forward this to you here, Shelby. Black bear running down the street in Custer.
Yeah, yep, I've heard that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. Now that now that he said that, but yeah, I've heard so many different stories. I had a patient that I don't know exactly, he lives, in the hills somewhere, and they had one in their backyard. And then someone was saying like a year ago there was one like in the Hill City area too. But the Custer's not very far, for a bear to travel.
No, not at all.
They sure waddle.
Yeah. So this might be off subject here from what we're talking about, but as a dental hygienist, why do you guys try to have conversations with people when you have tools in our mouth?
I actually can say that I am not that hygienist. I told myself I wouldn't be. So I will be, working in the mouth, and then I'll ask a question and pull my instruments out.
Okay. All right. Well, we got.
I'm kind about it.
Let's go to the phone lines here. Jesse's calling in here from Hazen, North Dakota. Jesse, you're on with Shelby Arman. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning, you two. Just kind of listen to what you're talking about with bear moving in and everything else. You've got to remember that we've got the population out there that is dumb enough to walk up 2 feet away from a wild buffalo, bison, whatever you want to call them, moose, whatever the animal may be, whether they're in Yellowstone Park or in the parks by Medora or up by Watford City.
Or by Custer.
These people, by Custer, they think that, a fluffy animal, they think they're in a zoo when they're out in nature, and that's all they want to do is take pictures. And there's that population that is always going to push for everything being left alone, but they're never going to be connected to the ranching world, farming world. Down there in Custer, where you're at, Shelby, there's lots of people get dogs taken right out of their backyards. It's wild. We've got to have some control,
Even like, just even with the coyotes too, they come in the yards. Like my boyfriend's family's lost so many cats, and who knows to what. But it's all those. I remember even going on trips, we would go to Yellowstone National Park when we were younger. And like when we were little, we didn't really like get it, but Dad always like told us, and we were just like around a building, and there was this sow and her like 3 cubs. And people are like, oh, this is so cute. And they're like taking pictures. And my dad's like, get in the car right now. Like these people don't understand. They think like a national park is like a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not.
Yeah, when we lived in Fort Collins, we went down to Estes Park a few times, and there are 300, 400 class bull elk in town all the time, and people get complacent locally, and then the tourists come through, and they literally think, like you said, that it's a petting zoo. And man, I saw a few times where it was close to people not going home. So
yeah, they just don't understand. Anything, especially the buffalo. Like, oh my gosh. a buffalo could like flip your car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or take their
Great show, you guys. I'll listen to the end here.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate you calling here. 888-932-5682 is the number. Let's go to 400 number. Is this Marty?
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Marty Beard, welcome to the program.
Yeah.
Shelby, it's so good to hear you on the radio. And we're going to be hunting down at the ranch, chasing some raccoons around. And since you're so close now, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump for you to drive up there and go chase some coon with your dad and I. And I think it'd be a great time. Maybe we can get this radio host to come over too.
Okay, hold on, Marty. I'll show up if she brings her boyfriend with, and we show him a real North Dakota hunt.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
I'll tell you what, some of my fondest memories are down on that ranch with my mules and hunting with John and then with the kids. It's just, it happened so fast. I can remember when I was shoeing horses for John, Shelby was knee high. Well, I remember when she was born. Now she's a grown woman and a great hunter, and it's just glad to hear you. And when we go down, you're coming over.
Oh yes, for sure. We gotta set a date and make a plan, and no one gets to back out.
I like that idea.
That's right. Well, keep up the good work, Scott. You got a great show.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, Marty. Thanks for calling in. All right, Shelby. So you got fans out here. You still got fans that miss you.
Beard in forever.
What was that?
I haven't seen him in forever.
His beard gets longer and longer.
Yeah, I mean, I was just a little pip, and I remember him, coming out to shoe horses and whatnot, and he would do all the crazy stuff. You never knew what Marty was doing. One time he dropped off a bunch of chickens in our yard.
I like how this is going. Did you know the previous caller, Jesse? I once bought some bum lambs at the auction market and put them in his living room in his house.
That's funny. Sounds like you and Marty got little brains alike.
So you and I think it's funny, but no, it's money well worth spent is what it is here. So, well, coming down to the last portion of on the radio side of things here, we got a couple minutes left. Let's see here. Ultimate Outdoors TV says set up signs that say pet the animals. You might get rid of some of those people out of the gene pool.
Oh, true. Natural selection.
So you remember the big, I think it was in Custer State Park. This lady during the bike rally got off the motorcycle, went over to pet this bison, ended up getting her pants ripped off. Right? You remember this story?
Yeah, I think I remember hearing something like that.
So at that time, there's a place in Lead called the Stamp Mill. It's still there. And they had a shoulder mount of a bison up on there. And after that happened, somebody threw a pair of pants around the horns of that.
Oh my goodness.
So, I think it's funny too, that this is the comical side of things when you see like what local people see compared to what tourists see.
Mm-hmm. And there are so many people out here it's funny because like when you live out here and when everything opens, everything's closed for the season now, but now we don't get to do anything, but really we don't like to go out when there's so many tourists and whatnot. No, it's just too busy. So we just hermit at home. But when it gets slows down is when we want to do things.
That's when the locals come out, is the off season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of people leave during the rally too. A lot of locals leave.
That's true. Yeah, they rent out your place a little bit longer too. So, all right. Well, Shelby Arman, you can find still some of the segments on Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. And you guys got quite a bit of a social media presence. How can people find you?
Yep. So I'm on Instagram, just Shelby Arman, and Facebook. And Dad is also on Facebook and Instagram, but we're more, most of our updates and posts are on the Instagram. So you can find us there.
And videos. I think you guys have a few different formats that you have your videos on.
Mm-hmm, yep. So we're starting to do some more reels and whatnot. I would say I'm like the least techie 26-year-old out there. My dad gets mad at me because I don't post enough, but I just can't get myself to, let people what I'm doing all the time or whatnot. I like to enjoy the moment, in God's country, but I know I need to get a little bit better about it. But YouTube, Dad puts out some videos, and I think you can watch some stuff on Amazon Prime and whatnot. So.
Yeah. No, it's always great to have you guys on your program. And like I said, off air, don't hang up on me because you still have to finish a story after, and we'll do it on YouTube. Just as a little bit of fun side. So we have more stories coming out here after the radio side of things here. If you want to get on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio, and subscribe to that, I would sure appreciate that. So, well, Shelby, I guess big thanks for you coming on here, waking up on a Saturday morning here and enjoying life. Like you said, here in God's country, it's a beautiful sunrise here this morning. I'm sure it looks good in the hills.
Yes, it is beautiful. I got to watch the sun come up. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Shelby Arman, we're going to do a little after hours on YouTube. If you want to stick around, more tournaments. The 2024 Leeds York Sportsman Club Hunt is January 13th, 14th. The 8th Annual Predator Hunt for the Esmond Rural Fire Department is December 16th. The Dakota Predator Hunters 7th Annual Dunn County Christmas for Kids, December 1st and 2nd. The Keene Fire Department Coyote Hunt, December 16th and 17th. And Ulrichs is on December 1st and 2nd. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur and wool. Have yourself a great weekend. All right. We'll give a couple minutes, or at least 60 seconds for them to get off air, just in case their satellite programs don't pick up.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. I appreciate you coming on here, Shelby. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'd like to meet up with you and your boyfriend here and meet you guys in person, maybe.
Yeah.
Go grab something to eat.
Yeah. Where is your place at again?
We're right at the Caledonia place in Lead, right down Main Street there.
And then your home place. How far are you from?
Oh, okay. So I am 17 miles from the Montana border and about 60 miles from the South Dakota border.
Okay. Yep.
I'll send you a pin.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of see here.
Down that way, but it's just so much shorter for me, especially when I'm at the ranch, just to bop down on those little highways instead of taking, because I used to, when we come down the hills, go through, Dickinson, Belfield, and down to Bowman and Buffalo.
Yeah.
And one of Cody or Connor's older brother, actually lives in Buffalo with his wife. She's from Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not far. I go through Highway 85 down to Lead all the time, Buffalo. I know a lot of people in that area. So if you guys ever need, and even on East Riverside, like that Brookings, Madison area.
Yeah.
I know quite a few people over in that area too. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be awesome. I know they East River hunt, and then their buddy just killed a giant, probably a 200-inch mule deer East River.
Nice.
Or I think maybe it was along the river. I'm not sure which side of the river.
But I'm telling you, they're moving more eastward. I see more and more people finding big mule deer on the east side of the river anymore.
Oh yeah, because they got the corn.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you come around this area, we have very little cropland in this area. There's maybe a few plateaus here and there that, so my neighbors have corn up north of me about 2 miles. Probably 160 acres mixed in here and there, full of elk, right? I mean, the elk just live there all summer long.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're combining it, now the elk are spreading out. They're doing their thing, doing what they do. But as a mule deer, if you have alfalfa fields or sagebrush, I guarantee damn well to you they're going to be in the alfalfa field.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know they've like the Milos,
Oh yeah. Yep.
The Milo and some of those wheat fields. Like the Milo is really tall this year though, but that's what they kind of like to hunt too for spot and stock. I missed the mule deer last year on a spot and stock in the Milo. He ducked my arrow so bad. I was really, really depressed. But it was 4 of us crawled in. It was like a gloomy, windy day I should say. And we crawled in. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking I was going to hunt. So I'm wearing like a baggy sweatshirt, my dude, and my hunting pants. And I was so muddy, but this thing, they're 2 bedded mule deer, and his dad and I both were back to full draw. And then mine stood up, and then all they were telling me is I got to shoot fast. So I shoot. And he dropped, like almost came back up into my arrow. So it was really depressing. But
yeah.
But that Milo is good for stalking, especially if it was like kind of wet,
Yeah. I love spot and stock. I do.
See, and I just started I was always a ground blind sitter, and then I'm, dating Connor. Now it's like Fast and Furious, and I'm spooky, I call it.
That's what your dad says too. All right, so now we're long enough away. So tell us about the residency thing again here. This is a good story that people need to hear.
So I was reading, online. It just seems like all the laws and whatnot, they're so hard to understand. And so my interpretation was that I needed to live here for 3 months. It was like 90 days. And then I could get my residency.
Right.
So I did that. And then I waited a little longer because I was like, I can just get it. I've been working here. And then I bought, I went into the DMV and got my license and stuff. And then I went and bought my turkey tags, and I was turkey hunting. And then, one of the Game and Fish, that new Connor, he was like, yeah, I just, we just want to talk to your girlfriend and whatnot. And then I had the Game and Fish, one of them called me, I want to say, this was this last spring. And I was like, I had talked to a lady emailed me, and she asked me a question. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. I thought that if I worked here for 3 months and then got my residency, I could just get tags right away. But you have to hold your license and be a resident for 3 months, and then you can buy tags.
Oh, I see.
So I think you can get your license right away, like a day, being here, and then you have to hold it for 3 months. But I interpreted it backwards. But I sent her my pay stubs, stating, showing that I've been working and living here since September of 22,
Right.
which was at that point like 6 months almost. And so she waived it, but then there must have been not some communication. And so then I got, quite questioned, and whatnot. And I was like, no, I have the email, the lady saying that that's okay, because I've, been living here and working. So she just waived it. But yeah, there was some miscommunication. So then we sat down and had to talk to the game board and whatnot. But yeah, it was quite interesting there for a minute.
Yeah.
But
it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, all good.
All right. Jesse's back with us here. What's up, Jesse?
Yeah, Shelby, I just didn't want to go into this on the main show, but having 2 little girls and a wife that hunt, I know that I'm a Kennetrek person and your guys' show is, but what do you actually wear for boots and clothes? The ladies' hunting clothing thing is a little different than what's available for us guys. I know my Kennetreks are a little heavy, but I love them. But what do you actually wear when you hunt?
I have a pair of Kennetreks that I wear. Sometimes for sometimes I'll wear, if we're just like going through the prairie, like sometimes I'll just wear dudes, because my Kennetreks do get a little heavy,
right.
Whatnot. But I would say I would do something like random like that. The winter time is the hardest for me, because I am so like cold blooded. My hands and my feet, like my rifle deer,
I'm with you on that.
Degrees. And it was like 40 degrees, and I was getting cold. My toes were frozen, my hands were, and thank goodness for adrenaline, on that big buck. But that's hard for me. So sometimes I'll even I'll get so desperate. I've tried the Arctic mucks, and I don't know if ordering a size up, because if you cut off your circulation, if your boots are tight, and your feet get cold. But getting wear my dad's boots and stick hand warmers in them, if we're just sitting in a blind, like 8th season. Or there's we did buy me a giant heater bodysuit one time too, but that's like huge and not very mobile. But if you're just sitting there, if they're just sitting along with you, we run a buddy heater. But I think one time I tried even wearing like my fuzzy Ugg boots. I was like so desperate. I'm like, I can't handle my feet freezing. And then Dad,
Oh, go ahead.
Hand warmer. It's like I don't know. I'd have to ask him, but it's it's hard. It almost looks like a battery pack, but it like heats your hands up. So I just have that for that, like it's almost like a fanny pack you can stick your hands in, and that helps. But I wear Kennetreks like early season and whatnot. Sometimes on antelope hunts, I'll throw on dudes if it's just but then you run in the risk of cactuses. But because sometimes my feet just get so hot. But I'm
pretty lucky. My older daughter that I'm hunting with now, she's like me. She doesn't have too much of a heat issue, but between my wife and my youngest daughter, once she's only 9, but once she starts coming more and actually starts hunting, they are like you two are. They're a little cold-blooded, so got to figure out what I'm going to do there.
Make sure that battery pack, I'll find out from my dad what the brand is, but that's nice for your hands. And then shoes-wise, if you're just sitting in a, ground blind, get like a little bit bigger and then stick those like feet warmers in them. And then they're also boot covers too, but we always run a buddy heater too, because I just can't. I'll even bring a blanket into the blind, put it that way.
The only time I've ran into cold feet is Scott and I hunted a coyote tournament north of Hazen, and the actual temperature was minus 21. Plus it was blowing about
minus 32. It was minus 32
minus 30, and it was blowing about 25 miles an hour. And we had the stick-on heat warmers on the bottom of our socks and extra clothes, and that's the only time I've truly got really cold hunting. It was miserable, but we paid to enter the tournament, so we went.
Marty Beard says you two need to wear fur.
That's true. There's nothing warmer than that.
I'll take some rabbit shoes.
Yeah. Beaver. I'll tell you, those beaver. So when I was in Alaska, I went to Furrier's. There's like Furrier stores, like 4 on every block. And you try on actual fur clothing, it is unbelievably warm. It's expensive, but it is so nice. And beaver, hands down, probably the best waterproof thing that you'll ever wear. Unbelievable.
The Brockhouses actually have a pair of beaver gloves, like the giant mitts, see on like whatever. But the biggest thing I think for your girls would be, if they're coming with you to start and get into hunting. I remember it's probably like what ruined my brother, but freezing is not fun. So just like I would bring a blanket in, something extra to like pack, but just make sure. And then a buddy heater is like a must.
Our biggest thing is we don't do a lot of blinds. It's pretty much spot and stock or walking around sitting in clay banks and whatnot. But the nice thing about that is you're always warm if you're moving.
So Waylon says, Jesse, maybe it's time you get the Taj Mahal blind like Jamie Brecht.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I just saw that too on my screen. Say, I just got a text message too. My neighbor over here, Scott Lee's, their daughter. Now I wanted to say Shelby. I just blanked out on her name. Anyhow, she's a freshman at Dickinson State, home hunting. Just shot herself a 4x4 mule deer buck south of Beulah.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. I love to see the, young girls, females getting out.
Yeah, I do too. We need
Abby, that's her name. Abby Lee. Good Lord, I couldn't remember her name.
We need more young ladies in it, because that is what's going to change the concept of hunting is going to be the women, not the guys.
Yep.
Guys, no.
I also run into issues, I just feel like, some girls, it's, there's that show on the Outdoor Channel that Matt Bustis did, whatever his name is. And it's like for love or likes, like do it for the right reason, like, I feel like I could, take off, but I don't want to be like engulfed in the social media. I want to enjoy it, just stay true. Don't be posting, respect yourself and the animal is all I got to say, for the young girls out there, you don't, it's cool enough. You're killing a deer. You don't need to take it to a whole nother level. Cause then, people then I feel like it takes away from like the real ones, cause they're like, oh, are you that like Barbie hunter? And I'm just like,
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll tell you,
there's some of that on TV.
I'll tell you this, Tiffany, she may have done a lot of good for hunting, but she did as much bad as she did good. I'm not a Tiffany fan. The one interview I did with her was absolutely disgusting.
I just like, it gets to be, you lose where, your heart originated with hunting, you lose you just a lot of people are, and I know social media, like, I have a few, contracts I have with whatnot, and I hate posting, like I got to post, I'm with, we work with Big and J, and I have my separate contract with them, but like, it's hard for me to like take a picture with a prize.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, just trust I'm using it. You know, I get like, you know, promoting them and whatnot, but I struggle with that. My dad always gets after me, or, you know, I love my Tacoma. So anybody that's looking to get a Tacoma, like, I love it, you know, but it's finding like posts, like I just take like a selfie with me smiling in my pickup, you know. But it's hard. Some of that stuff is just hard, you know, especially if you're not super, I would say like my generation is kind of on the outskirts of where it really gets bad, just with people being so tied up in their social media and worrying about what other people are doing, you know. And I'm thankful that I'm on the outskirts of it. And, you know, my dad could, you know, might say a little less, you know, because I just don't, I feel like I just don't, you know, care. He has to get out.
Here's the thing is you need to get your dad on TikTok and start doing some of the TikTok dance crazes.
Yes, I want to see John dancing.
I do.
That's how like untechy I am. I'm terrible at even making a reel. You know, I don't have TikTok. I never go on TikTok. I am like old. I'm as old as school as like 20s. I'm a 97. Because I just can't do it. I'm like, oh, I cringe at some of the stuff on TikTok.
Yeah. But it would be funny to see your dad doing, you know.
He can moonwalk. He'd do a good TikTok moonwalk.
Perfect.
Sure.
I think you could do that. You could start putting it together.
You can dance. You can dance moves. I, for one, did not get that gene. I got no rhythm at all. My mom wanted me to take piano lessons when I was younger, and I think I sat on my dad's lap and cried. And I was like, I just want to hunt with you. Don't make me go to piano.
So Shelby, I told you the very first interview I did with you was when you shot your very first deer.
Yep, and I remember on the radio, I wasn't live, thank goodness, but I said my deer died twice.
Yes.
I'll never forget.
So, yeah. So One Shot Cap just texts here. He says, Shelby, is it true that you killed the same deer twice?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
I shot him, dropped in, got back up and dropped in.
I killed him, and then he got up, and then I killed him again. Yeah. No, I remember doing that. I was in the hunting section at Shield Sporting Goods. I interviewed you. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, forget that. I almost said it again as a joke today. Like, yeah, I killed my rifle buck twice. He dropped in.
There's a lot of people that do that, though.
Oh yeah, you don't even. Yeah, that's crazy. It was such cool.
But the best part about it is the excitement telling a story. You know, that's the excitement that a person needs to portray. All right.
Oh,
I mean, you can sit and rehearse it. This was unscripted, unrehearsed. Let's get the real feeling about it, and you did. So that's what sticks out about it. So.
Yeah, my rifle buck that I killed last week was my biggest buck I've taken to date, and it was so fast, but I never had a chance at a deer at that caliber, you know, a whitetail. That was actually my first whitetail I've taken with the rifle. I've only killed, you know, I mostly bow hunt, and I killed 2 mule deer with the rifle and a couple antelope, I think, but yeah, it all happened so fast and it was crazy. And afterwards, I think I about tackled my dad, you know, after I shot, and I'm telling him to shut up because I didn't believe that I like shot this thing, you know, and then I about tackled him, and then I think I about started crying.
So what suppressor are you using?
I couldn't even tell you, remember the name of it.
Okay.
But Dad has, I think we've got a few.
Yeah.
Few of them. Yeah, I'm terrible at those things.
That's all right. At least you have a suppressor.
Yeah, I mean it helps, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
And but yeah, so that was an incredible hunt. That was the second biggest deer we've taken off the ranch. Jason has a person who's got me beat by an inch because my deer scored 161 and an 8. Jason has a person who's got me beat by an inch because my deer scored 161 and an 8.
Nice. That's a nice deer.
Oh,
we don't have anything like that around here this year. I'm not even using my tag this year. I mean, there's just nothing.
Yeah.
I might take my archery tag and head south to Scranton and hunt on a buddy's place. He's got a lot of whitetail down in his area, but that's probably all I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had last night on our set, we had a good 8-point, but he just kept, I don't know if he was after a doe or on a trail, but he didn't come into the field. The movement was slow, but there's some good, just decent bow deer.
No.
Convinced that. Well,
Good deal. Jesse, any other questions for her?
Nope. I'm gonna try to get my crew out of bed here. Finally, we had a little bit of a late night last night, and we still have Karina's youth doe tag to fill. So that's today and this weekend's project.
oh well, good luck to you guys.
What do you shoot? What do you have her shoot again? 22-250?
Yeah, right now she's on the 22-250. I do suppress it. I'd like to step her up to either my 6 Creed or my 243. Even though she's a giant 12-year-old, it's still
Shelby,
hold
on, Jesse. We got to explain this.
So Shelby, my 12-year-old, is she's already wearing my wife's clothing, and she's going to surpass her clothes here shortly. She's 12 years old, just here in October.
Just turned 12.
Oh my
she
God.
She's 5'10" and about 165 pounds. So
she's a
size-wise,
good size girl.
There's no ladies' guns in our house. Like, even my wife's about that same size, so I don't have to worry about buying short stocks or anything like that. But at 12 years old, her strength just isn't there. A lot of my guns are pretty heavy, so she knocked that whitetail doe down last year with the 22-250 with no problem. So I'm going to put her behind that for one more year, and then we're going to try to step up a little bit.
Yeah, I shoot a 6'5" Creedmoor, and I love it because I'm 5'5" and like 137 pounds, and I feel like it's not too terrible at all. I think it's a pretty light gun.
Yeah, as far as recoil and stuff goes, the only thing she hasn't shot of mine is my 300 Win Mag, so I'm not worried about her actually shooting the gun. It's just carrying it in the field, just the actual weight. I mean, I've got some 12, 13-pound guns. That's too much for her to lug around, so we'll get her there eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. Yeah, if I have to lug something heavy, it's not that for me.
So Shelby, I got one of Jesse's friends here, Darren up in Hazen, says, I got a buddy. He shot a doe, threw it in the back of the pickup, and went to the farm to gut it out. Got to the farm and was drinking a beer, and the deer stood up on the back of the pickup. Had to shoot it again.
Oh my God.
So it does happen. It does happen.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So then I got a question. Do you have to tag it twice?
He probably didn't take it the first time. So that's the funny thing is I've actually seen somebody do that. They shot at a buck and hit it in the antler and knocked it unconscious. And they tagged it and did the whole works like that, and it stood up and ran away. And it was with the tag on it. It was still running around like 2 years later with parts of that tag hanging on it.
Did you see the one? There was one by North Dakota Eastern, or like down by gosh, what's it called? Wish It. That buck that was running around with the tag on it last year.
Really? So I mean, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but they lose their antlers every year. But when you shoot the antler, it deforms it enough that it doesn't all fall off sometimes. And that's what happened to that one. So
that happened. Like, I think someone like shot it, tagged it, and then this thing got up because I mean, it was all over. I was like, that is crazy. Well, I would lose.
I had a buddy when I was young. Before I even got tags, I was just walking with people hunting, because that's when they used to go with the army, and you put points up on the draws, and everybody would walk the draw, and then the people in the points would shoot. And they shot a buck, put the rifle in the antlers, and took a photo. And the deer stood up with the rifle in the antlers and took off into the trees. Wow. And I mean, wrecked that rifle bad. Oh. See, this is back when we should have had cell phones that could take video.
Right? Like, all the crazy things happened back in.
I'm sure there's more than one story back in the day like that happens.
Mm-hmm. Also, probably.
All right, you guys have a good weekend. I'm going to get these girls moving. Talk to you later.
You bet. See you, Jesse.
Bye.
You too. Good luck.
All right. Well, Shelby, thanks again. Appreciate it. I'll let you get your Saturday rolling. I got to get mine going too here. So.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, thanks for having me on, and I'll wrangle the boys one of these times. Just shoot me a text.
Absolutely.
Text me, not my dad.
Yeah.
And we'll figure something out.
Okay, sounds good. You have yourself a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
You bet. Bye. All right, YouTube, thanks for joining in. Sprayle Official, thanks for the epic fail of your spam that you're trying to get on my YouTube channel. Appreciate that very much. Guessing you're an anti-hunter, so Don't really care. Have yourself a good one. YouTube. Bye.